Ewan ko, kahit hanggat maaari, ako, ang habol ko, yung stability, peaceful, para magawa namin yung trabaho namin. Kaya ako, laging akong bukas sa ganyan. I'm always open to any approach na, alika, magtulungan tayo. Diba? Kahit hindi tayo magkasundo sa polisiya, hindi tayo magkasundo. Gawin nyo yung trabaho, pero wag na tayong nanggugulo. Wag na natin, tanggalin natin yung gulo.
All right. Attorney Lotok. So based on that video, BBM was open to reconcile with VP Sara, correct?
Anong date po ng video, sir?
We will provide the date in a while. They're researching on it. But even without the date, you can confirm.
Di, gusto kong malaman kung anong date, sir.
So you cannot answer the question without us providing the date of this
Tininan
interview?
ko kung ilang buwan na yan after nung November 23.
All right.
Move on, counsel. While you're checking on the date, you can go back to that topic.
Now, assuming that this happened after, do you still maintain that BBM really believed in his mind that VP Sara would harm or kill him?
But how would I know that, Your Honor?
Precisely. So you don't know. You cannot know that, Your Honor. Correct?
Yes.
Because you cannot enter the state of mind of the president. Are you admitting that?
Unless there is a basis, Your Honor, gaya ng investigation namin sa attirances ni VP na may mga circumstances. Pag yan lang ang nakita ko, siyempre hindi namin ma-establish yung state of mind ng presidente.
But isn't it in your affidavit of investigation, you mentioned about the state of mind of the president?
State of mind of the president based
Correct. After the statements of VP Sara, you interpreted the mind. It's like you went into the mind of the alleged offended parties, BBM, FL, and the speaker, and based on your own interpretation, you determined or concluded that they were threatened. Is that not the case?
Yeah, ang sinabi doon ng presidente, nakakabahala yung mga narinig natin itong mga nakaraang araw. And then isa itong kriminal na pagtatangka, ito yung aking papalagan. So at that moment, the president took the utterances serious and real, sir.
But you just based that on his own statement. You did not enter his state of mind, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. I think where is this leading?
What's the
A
objection?
witness is being asked
What's
to
the
enter
basis for the
state of
objection,
mind.
Your Honor?
Kindly wait for the counsel for prosecutor to finish his
Incompetent, Your
objection.
Honor. Incompetent. The witness already said that based on their investigation, based on the statement of the president, after the event, he said that they determined that the president felt threatened. And the question now is, did you enter his state of mind? Your Honor, please, I think I'm now objecting on the reason that this person is incompetent to
Your Honor,
enter.
we will be satisfied with just the basis. If he had said incompetence, we would ask for a ruling already. He doesn't have to lecture, Your Honor. And for the record,
Kindly reform, counsel. I think I know where you're getting at.
all right. My question to you is this: do you have background on forensic psychology?
No.
Do you have a background on behavioral psychology?
Well, we were taught about
Just
that
yes or
subject
no.
matter in
Just
the
a
academy.
yes
sir.
or no will do. Do you have a forensic psychology department in the NBI's cybercrime division?
Forensic psychology.
Yes.
We have BSD. We have medical legal department.
Medical
We
legal
have,
only. Okay.
We have psychiatrists.
All
We
right.
have psychologists. We have all of those, sir.
All right. In other words, you do not have a professional assessment of the mind of BBM when you conducted this affidavit of investigation, correct?
Okay, sir. The investigation, ganito po ang nangyari. Nung nag-comment yung presidente na nakakabahala yung mga utterances, pera lang ho doon, tiningnan namin yung comment ng iba't ibang government agencies na ganun din yung kanilang reaksyon, nakakabahala yung sinabi ng Vice Presidente, magiging issue yan ng national security. Pera lang ho yun, kinonsider din namin yung comments at impression ng mga media personalities na nag-participate doon sa online press conference, sabi nila na-shock sila, nabigla sila, hindi sila na parang totoo yung galit ng Vice President. And then aside from that, from those facts, ganun din ang ginawa namin sa former Speaker sa kanyang reaction. So taking all these facts and circumstances, na-establish namin na indeed yung reaction ng Presidente is trinato niya na seryoso at totoo yung utterances na yon na ginawa ni VP Sara noong 23. So ito ho, kaya lang dito, ipapakita nyo sa akin yan lang mag-isa, hindi namin nakita yung ibang circumstances. Hindi ho ako makakapagsabi kung sa mind ng Presidente is pinatawad na ba niya, ayaw na niya, hindi na ba niya kinukonsider yung mga threat na yon. Pag ganyan lang, Your Honor, sa investigation kasi kailangan makita namin yung iba't ibang circumstansya para ma-establish namin whether or not, ito yung ibig niyang sabihin, ito yung intention niya.
For the record, Your Honor, the date of the video is May 19, 2025. So this came after
2025. So, mga 7 months, sir?
Yeah.
7 months.
All right. So based on your experience as an investigator, baka pwedeng ano na.
Again,
Consi-
hindi siya
consider niya
sufficient,
na baguhin
hindi
yung-
siya sufficient para makita namin. Kasi,
Anyway,
we know for a fact na...
we're satisfied with your
Yeah.
first answer.
The witness still answering?
Well, I didn't even ask a question, Your Honor.
You did, counsel, when you gave the date and asked for his opinion. Kindly finish your answer.
Thank you, Your Honor. We, as lawyers, we know for a fact that the state of mind can manifest based on the overt acts of the speaker. So dito kasi, kung ito lang ang pagbabatayan namin, then we try to establish yung intent o yung state of mind ng Presidente, kulang ho yan. So siguro kung may makikita pa kaming ibang circumstances na magpapatunay na binaliwala niya na yung utterances, pinatawad niya yung Vice Presidente, and things like that, then we can somehow said, mukha ngang totoo yung sinabi ng Presidente na pinatawad na niya.
All right, but I'll move on to a different point.
Before counsel for the respondent continues, what is the pressure of Senator Judge Cayetano?
Just one specific clarification on that point, just so that we don't lose the point.
The
With your
gentleman
permission,
may proceed.
President. Yeah. Excuse me lang sa prosecution and sa defense. Witness, one point lang, maybe one
Yes,
or
sir.
two questions on that
Yes,
point.
Your Honor.
Sabi mo, the President, sa pananaw mo, and yung iba, Speaker Martin felt threatened.
Base doon sa investigation namin. sir.
Base sa investigasyon at base sa video.
Base sa video, sa investigation at sa ibang testimony.
So if they felt threatened, that means tingin nila totoo yung sinabi ni VP Sara na patayin sila. Kasi they wouldn't feel threatened if they don't think na she meant it, na patayin silang tatlo, right?
In our investigation, they trinato nila yung utterances as seryoso.
Yes,
At
so
banta ito.
they won't feel threatened unless tingin nila seryoso yung threat.
According to them, seryoso yung threat,
Yes,
sir.
okay. But the threat was, pag pinatay niyo ako, papatayin ko kayo. So kung hindi naman nila sila balak patayin, why would they feel threatened? Unless you're saying now, you think, balak nga nilang papatay si Vice President.
Actually, sir, ito, from the point of view of law enforcement like us, yun nga yung naging alarming na issue doon na sa amin, sir. Sa
No,
amin po.
I agree. I'm also, Mr. Witesa, I'm also alarmed with the language, with saying that. I'm alarmed with what's happening in our country, in flood control, etc. But that's not my point. My point is, in your investigation, para maging grave threat, kailangan yung party na trineten feels threatened. Pero ang sinabi ni VP Sara, pag pinatay ako, patayin silang tatlo. So kung wala naman silang tatlo balak na patayin siya, why would they feel threatened? Did that not come into your mind as an investigator?
What comes into your mind, Your Honor, is yun nga, yung possibility na God forbids may mangyari sa BP na hindi naman alam nung tatlo, then mati-trigger ngayon yung instruction, then papatayin yung tatlo na hindi naman nila alam. At the same time,
No,
may
then in
mga
that-
ibang grupo
Then in
na-
that case, hindi ba logical, because you're the President of the Philippines, you order the PSC to make sure that walang mangyari sa kanya rather than baliktad na tinanggalan siya ng security.
Nung tinanggap,
I'm just following your logic. I won't.
Yes,
I
sir.
won't argue. Finish your ano, and I'm satisfied, Mr. President. I'm just trying to figure out nga no how you came about yung gave threats given
Yeah.
ang sinabi niya kung papatayin ako. So
We-
finish your answer so that
we qualify that grave threats sa term namin as event-based condition na yun nga pag nangyari yung event magti-trigger ngayon yung threat ng Vice President. Now insofar as na-threaten sila, yung sinasabi mo po sir na pag namatay si Vice President, tsaka papatayin ngayon ng tao na inutusan niya, yung tatlo. Ang isa sa alarming, na very alarming part na nakita namin, yung mga sasakay ho na grupo po eh. Kasi, God forbid, pwedeng mawala ang Vice Presidente but not necessarily sila yung dahilan. Pwedeng namatay siya for one reason or the other. Then, ang impression na ng marami, ang may kasalanan nito, yung tatlo. So, again, magkakalabo-labo na yan. May sasakay na sa issue, thinking na pag pinatay nila yung tatlo, ang sisisihin ngayon yung kampo ni Vice Presidente kasi may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente to that effect. So, yun ho yung sa investigation namin. Now, insofar as pumasok ho yung elements ng grave threats, yeah, we believe na pumasok yung elements ng grave threats kasi nasatisfy ho lahat ng elements ng grave threat based on the revised penal code.
I'm assessing your answer but malayo na malapit yung sagot mo dun sa triggering events ha. Kasi parang logical, di ba? Dahil sinabi niya yon, baka may gumawa. Hindi nga magtre-trigger, papatay sa kanya. So para matrigger na patayin ang Pangulo, you're saying that VP Sara is asking other people to kill her so that they can kill Marcos. Di sana sinabi na lang niya patayin niyo si Marcos. Sabi mo i-trigger, but anyway, I'm trying to process, but hindi logical yung sinabi mo that event will trigger. Because the event that will trigger the assassination on the tree is the killing of the Vice President. And the Vice President will not tell people, kill me so that you kill them.
Precisely, Your Honor. Ang death kasi, for instance, mamatay yung Vice Presidente, it does not necessarily follow na yung tatlo yung nagpapatay base doon sa attirances. Pwede kasing mamatay yung Vice Presidente for one reason or the other. And again, since walang makakalam kung sino ang pumatay dyan, ang impression ng mga tao ngayon, matitrigger ngayon yung instruction. Pag na-trigger yung instruction, pwede na ngayon sumakay yung iba-ibang grupo thinking na kahit mabulilyaso ang sisisihin dito ang Vice Presidente kasi nga may attirances na ginawa ang Vice Presidente in public. From the point of view of law enforcement, ang gulo nun, Your Honor, matter of national security po yun. It's a matter of national security, Your Honor.
Counsel for the respondent may proceed with his cross.
So just to, before I leave this point, at any rate, you made all those observations and conclusions without any background on forensic
What do you mean?
psychology, correct?
I don't have background for forensic
All right.
psychology.
Okay, that's enough. Now, I'll go on to a different point. Let's talk about the context of these statements. The press con included a question and answer portion.
Again, sir?
The press con included a question and answer portion.
Yes, I think so.
And the VP Sara statement, which you investigated, was an answer to a question that was asked during the press con.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, the focus of your investigation was VP Sara's answer, correct?
What kind of answer, sir?
Answer to the question asked in the press con.
Can you tell me the specific questions and the specific answers?
You were
sir?
the one who investigated it and you don't know the statement that you
Objection vague.
investigated.
I will
Marami yung
object vague.
question doon, maraming answers, sir. Saan po
Exactly.
doon ang tinutukoy
Objection
niyo?
vague.
Sustained. Kindly reform, counsel.
All right. In our exhibit D-1-145A, I will read the transcription. This is the transcription also by John Mark Kalilong, dated December 26, 2024. A certain Princess Maui asked,
Counsel may approach from both parties to assist the witness.
mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami ng pasabog ninyo ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them dahil sa pagkakasama ninyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanov. And baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga balak in the future. So mag-iingat po kayo. My question to you is this. Will you agree that based on this question by one Princess Maui, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family, namely Operation Romanov?
Well, sabi ko nga, narinig ko yung term na Romanov nung binigkas yun ni Mayor Baste noong January during Maisog Rally. Other than that, wala ako kaming validated na about Romanov operation.
But you watched this video, correct? So you heard it also during that time.
Yan ho yung sabi ni Princess Maui, sir.
So you heard
Then,
it.
nag-invite kami kay Princess Maui, tinanong ko yung agent on case, kung nag-invite ba tayo kay Princess Maui, ang sabi ng agent on case, hindi raw siya nag-appear.
All right.
Kasi we want to clarify
With the
things.
permission of the counsel for the respondent, what is the pleasure of Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo?
Mr. Presiding Officer, kahapon kasi nabanggit yung Romanov and I did mention na para sa akin, nagmula yung salitang Romanov kay Mayor Baste Duterte when during a rally yung sa Maisog in Davao. So, ang tanong ko ngayon kay Mr. Witness, matatandaan po ba kung ano yung sinabi ni Mayor Baste Duterte patungkol dun sa Romanov that night?
Yes, sir. I will try if
Can you
I
tell us?
remember it right. Ang sabi niya, Mr. President, sabi niya, remember what happened to the Romanovs. If I'm not mistaken, sir, parang ang sinasabi niya, kasi mayroong...
No, I think when you go to bed tonight, continue.
Yes, sir. Yan. Sabi po yan.
Okay?
When you go to bed tonight, think about the Romanovs. Yung po yata yung pagkasabi. Parang sinasabi niya na baka mangyari sa pamilya niyo yon gaya ng nangyari sa inyo noong 1996. Kung tama yung memory ko, sir. Parang ganun po ang sinasabi ni Mayor Baste.
Kaya nga, Mr. Presiding Officer, nagtataka ako na binanggit yan ni Princess Maui doon sa press conference, sa online press conference ni VP Sara, yung Romanov na banta for Sara Duterte when in fact, it was Baste Duterte ang nabitaw ng salita na yon warning sa first family. So, which is which, Mr. Witness, para sa'yo, saan ba talaga yung Romanov nag-umpisa at sino ba talaga ang dapat mag-ingat dun sa banta na Romanov?
Yeah, insofar as our investigation is concerned, since nag-start yan doon kay Mayor Baste at wala ho kaming ma-validate na ibang Romanov operations na nangyari, I think nag-start yan sa kanila, sir, sa kapatid ng Vice Presidente.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. No other questions? Mr. Presiding Officer.
Noted, entered into the records, and counsel for the respondent may continue with this cross.
All right. So you mentioned that just now that Mayor Baste said, think about the Romanovs, correct?
Yan yung statement ni Mayor Baste, sir.
But I'm asking Operation Romanov eh. So hindi naman think about the Romanovs. My question to you is this.
With the permission of counsel for the respondent, Senator Tulfo seeks recognition again. What is the pleasure of Senator
Yeah,
Tulfo?
I just want to make it clear, Mr. Presiding Officer, na yung threat na yon, yung Romanov na salita, it was used to warn as a threat to the first family. The word Romanov came from the mouth of Mayor Baste Duterte, na para bang binabantaan niya yung first family. You follow me, Mr. Witness?
Yes, sir. Tama po yun.
Thank
Tama
you.
po yun.
Noted. Counsel may proceed.
Your Honor, that's my question. Can the witness be allowed to answer that question with a manifestation first before he allows?
Kindly repeat the question because even I forgot the question,
All right.
counsel.
You mentioned that Mayor Baste said that statement, think about the Romanovs, etc.
Yes, sir.
But he did not mention Operation Romanov. It was Princess Maui who mention the word Operation Romanov. And I know you don't have, I personally don't have any knowledge about what Mayor Baste said, and that is not the subject of this case. Let's just stick to the facts of this case. Okay? In the video, it was Princess Maui who said Operation Romanov. All right? Now, will you agree with me that based on that question, there was also a threat against VP Sara and her family? That's the question.
According to the question, sir, yes.
All right. Now, you mentioned yesterday that you can motu proprio investigate threats against the Vice President.
Under the law, sir, yes.
All right. My next question is very simple. Did you conduct a separate investigation on Operation Romanov?
Well, since ang focus ng operations namin, sir, is cybercrime investigation, I think ang makakasagot niyan yung intelligence service namin, sir. Insofar as the cybercrime division is concerned, ang focus namin, crimes committed by, through, and with the use of information and communication technology. As to the fact whether or not may Operation Romanov, ang makakasagot po niyan either yung intelligence service o yung director ho namin, sir.
So insofar as you are concerned, there is no ongoing investigation on Operation Romanov.
Again, ang focus ng investigation namin doon sa grave threat and then inciting to sedition against the Vice President, insofar as the existence of whether or not may Operation Romanov, siguro makakasagot niyan, sir, yung intelligence service, yung director ho namin.
All right. So no. At any rate, are you aware of if the Vice President was the target of unauthorized intelligence or surveillance operations?
I'm not aware, sir.
All right.
With the permission of counsel, Chair will recognize Senator Judge Pangilinan, thereafter Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo.
Just one or two quick questions.
You may proceed, sir.
On the issue of Princess Maui.
Opo.
And itong investigasyon na sinasabing inimbestigahan ba yung threat against the Vice President. Kung hypothetically dumating si Princess Maui at nagpaliwanag tungkol sa Operation Romanov at sinabi niya ang detalye,
Yes, sir.
kikilos ba ang
Definitely,
cybercrime?
sir. Definitely.
Ano ang gagawin ninyo kung nakuha ninyo yung ganong klaseng impormasyon?
We will validate the information first, sir.
Ang problema, sabi nga ninyo kanina, hindi nga humarap.
Opo, sir.
But as in any other case, kung may humarap at pinag-usapan at sinabi ganito yung threat, what is the standard operating procedure of the NBI?
We validate first the information, sir. And then pag confirm na, then we will start case build-up, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, what is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Just want to direct my question to the witness here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yung Romanov plot, well, aside from what Senator Judge Tulfo said, that came from Baste, but I picked it up doon sa video na pinalabas kanina ng defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
yung Romanov plot versus Sara, according to Princess Maui. Did you take that information seriously or not?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why nung marinig namin o makita namin yung question ni Princess Maui about the Romanov, we conducted an open source investigation. Tinignan ho namin baka meron. Ayun nga, ang nakita namin yung January 2024 during Maisog Rally, if I'm not mistaken, na yung the word Romanov, ang nagbigkas ho nun si Mayor Baste, Your Honor.
All right. So, yung statement ni Princess Maui sa video, how do you rate that info? Sa inyo po sa NBI, sa mga intelligence agencies, yung mga informations po ninyo, may rating. Tama po ba? Correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Witness. For example, pag yung information po ninyo, pag yung information po na natanggap ninyo ay may mga rating po. A1, completely reliable. A2, completely reliable information, probably true. B1, usually reliable source, information confirmed. B2, usually reliable, information probably true, but needs validation. C1, fairly reliable source, information confirmed. C2, fairly reliable source, information needs validation. D to F, source is doubtful, unreliable, or reliability cannot be assessed. So, saan yun nilagay yung sinabi ni Princess Maui? Saan dito sa classification po na ito ng source of information? Is it A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 hanggang DF? Saan po? Kasi po ngayon, sir, napakarami na po mga impormasyon ng mga fake news.
Opo, sir. Sir, kung pwede na pong sumagot.
Go ahead po. Go ahead.
Sir, yung una po namin ginawa, we tried to invite Princess Maui to shed light doon sa sinasabi nilang Romanov. Since hindi ho nag-appear si Princess Maui, wala ho kaming basis. So, classify muna namin ito na non-validated information. Naghanap kami sa open source. Yun nga, ang nakita namin, ang unang nagbigkas niyan, si Mayor Baste. So, medyo nakita namin, teka muna, parang baliktad yata ang sitwasyon. Kung kay Mayor Baste nagsimula ang Romanov, bakit dito ito yung tinatanong ni Princess Maui sa Vice Presidente? So, medyo it doesn't make sense, sir. Wala kaming na-validate since hindi nag-appear si Princess Maui. So, we classify the information as unvalidated
So,
information.
what you did, nung hindi mo ma-confirm yung kay Princess Maui information, naghanap ka ng
Opo.
counter source,
Yes, sir. Open source, sir.
open source, okay, to validate.
Yes, sir.
And what happened to that source?
Yeah, based doon sa video na yon, January, if I'm not mistaken, yun nga, yung Maisog Rally, Your Honor, ang unang nagbanggit ng Romanov, si Mayor Baste, parang tinatakot niya yung presidente.
Okay,
Doon.
Mr. Witness, I'm running out of time. So, isa lang pong tanong ko. So, yung information po ni Princess Maui dun sa video, yung sinabi niya kay BP, hindi po reliable.
Hindi reliable insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
The interventions of the Senator Judge are noted. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Villanueva?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. President. Just a very quick question on this particular topic, and I will no
Gentleman
longer.
may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will no longer dwell on the Operation Romanov, despite the fact that thank you to Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo who told me that about the dates, and I will not even mention or tackle the conditional threat. But I was looking at this NBI letter dated 2nd of December 2024, marked as Annex I. This is prosecution's P4-5 exhibit. Invited responded Duterte to appear in connection with the investigation of the alleged grave threats. Mr. Witness, nakasaad din po dito sa sulat na iniimbestigahan ng NBI yung mga banta laban sa kanya at makakatulong po dito ang kanyang pagharap sa investigation. Tama po ba ito, Attorney?
Yes po, Your Honor. Tama po yan.
Dahil po hindi personal na pumunta ang ating Vice Presidente, ano po yung naging epekto nito sa investigasyon ninyo sa mga banta laban sa kanyang buhay? Gusto ko lang malaman, ipinagpatuloy nyo po ba ang investigasyon ng NBI? What is now the status of this investigation?
Yes, sir. Una, since yung second letter ng Vice President through her lawyer, may sinasabi doon na may threat sa life 6 months ago pa. So, nung trinay naming i-check yun, Your Honor, ang nakita lang naming relevant information as to the security, yung pagbabawas ho ng 75 PNP personnel from BPSPG, if I'm not mistaken. And then, I think transfer ho yata yung mga personnel na yan sa Manila. And then when we check the record, yun nga, merong pang, based on the COA record, merong pang 335 more or less if I'm not mistaken, na security personnel ang Vice Presidente. So, other than those facts, wala ho kaming makitang relevant na security issue dahil yun nga, hindi naman nag-appear ang ating Vice Presidente, hindi naman sila nagbigay ng any information na pwede namin pagsimulan po.
So,
But,
Opo, so after that, you did not pursue anymore the investigation on the threats against the Vice President?
Ang alam ko, ang aming intelligence service ay may monitoring na ginagawa from time to time.
I ask this question, Mr. Witness, and for the our people. Kasi ang hindi na po yung Operation Romanov, hindi na po itong conditional threat. Kung hindi, ito ba ay nabigyan ng accorded the same level of attention dun sa mga threats na inyong nakukuha gaya ng binabanggit natin na threat di umano ng ating Vice Presidente? Kasi ang tanong, hindi rin naman po nagpunta sa inyo ang Pangulo o ang Speaker of the House, and yet you pursued your investigation. So, in that way, paano nyo may explain ito, Attorney Lotok,
Yes.
na ginawa nyo talaga yung lahat ng inyong magagawa para imbestigahan din yung threat laban sa pangalawang Pangulo?
Opo, Your Honor. Magkaiba po siya. Yung grave threats na inatter ng Vice President against the President, apparent po siya, Your Honor. Nakita po namin. Nasa video, inauthenticate namin yung video, nag-testify yung mga may personal knowledge na in fact sinabi niya yon. So, malinaw ho na nag-exist yung utterances na yon that qualifies the crime of grave threats. Dito ho, sa threat ng Vice Presidente, wala ho kaming ganong same na information na nakuha. Wala kaming apparent na mayroong threat against sa life ng Vice Presidente. Kasi nga, hindi sila nagbigay ng specific information, hindi ho nagpakita ang Vice Presidente para mag-shed light doon sa investigation namin. So hindi ho namin siya makita na parehas. Magkaiba po yun. Ang sa Presidente, apparent siya. So definitely under the law, ang NBI can motu proprio undertake an investigation. Dito sa Vice Presidente, allegation siya. Wala kaming ma-validate na information. So hindi ho pa magti-trigger yung investigation doon. But I am sure, insofar as the intelligence service of the NBI is concerned, continuous ho yung monitoring yan at naghahanap po sila ng mga lead para masolidify yung information na yan.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. I know the law. Presidente, Vice Presidente, Speaker, pwede nyong tignan at imbestigahan yan. But I feel na importanteng maipakita natin sa taong bayan that same level of attention ang ibinigay po natin. At we also, if we need to walk the extra mile of investigating, we have to do it in the name of fairness. So, yun lang po yung nakita ko. And siguro yung sinasabi nyo nga po, hindi sumapat yung inyong mga nakalap na mga impormasyon, whether the information ay kulang or hindi kayo nagkaroon ng access sa mga information na to, kaya po hindi nagtuloy.
Opo, Your Honor. That is insofar as the Cybercrime Division is concerned.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr.
What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Lacson? Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva.
I just want to pursue the point raised by Senator Judge Rapi Tulfo and the
The
others.
gentleman may proceed and he has 2 minutes.
I don't know about the other senator judges, pero until today, when Senator Judge Rapi Tulfo clarified
Opo.
na yung palang Oplan Romanov, a threat against the first family.
Yes, sir.
Ang impression ko since last week, nung pag-uusapan natin yung Oplan Romanov, a threat ito against the Vice President. And since sabi nyo, part ng investigation ninyo, open source, di ba?
Yes, sir. Opo.
Yung bang speech ni Mayor Baste Duterte sa Maisog, naging part ba ng open source nyo yun?
Part ng
In this particular investigation that you conducted?
hindi po siya nag-form part as...
So kulang yung inyong open source information.
Hindi po kami nakafocus sa Romanov, Your
Okay.
Honor. Okay.
Was it also your impression na yung threat do sa Romanov was directed against BP Sara until today?
I don't...
Please be honest.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed. No?
Yeah, I don't think so, Your Honor. Kasi unang-una, ang context ng Operation Romanov against the first family.
I know.
So it definitely against the President and his family, Your Honor. Ngayon, nung tinanong ho siya ni Princess Maui, doon nga kami nagtaka. Anong ibig sabihin ng Romanov? Anong context niya ng Romanov? Bakit against sa Vice President. Hindi naman sila yung first family. So, yun yung reason po, Your Honor, kung bakit we try to invite Princess Maui na shed us some light para makita namin ano bang ibig mong sabihin doon. Ano ba yung pwede namin i-validate na information para makapag-case build up kami pag meron.
Yes. So bakit hindi naging part ng investigation nyo do sa threat against the life of the President and the First Lady? Kasi family yung binabanggit ni Mayor Basten, di ba? Hindi kasama yung si Speaker Romualdez, hindi kasama yung Chief Justice.
Opo.
Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Pero threat against the family, the First Family,
Yes, sir.
as mentioned by Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, ang sabi mo, hindi naging part ng investigation nyo do sa inyong investigation report or sa affidavit of investigation, yung open source ng maisog.
Hindi po siya nakasama. sir.
Bakit hindi napasama? Open source din yun eh. That could reinforce yung inyong theory o yung conclusion nyo na meron talagang serious threat against
The First Family.
the President and the others. Bakit hindi nyo ginawang part do sa affidavit of investigation unless pareho tayo na impression na until today, ang alam natin sa Romanov, threat against BP Sara.
Yeah,
Yun ang impression ko since last week, ha?
Yun ho
By the
yung
way.
yun po yung impression namin nung hindi pa namin nakikita
That's
sa
exactly
open
my
source.
question, Attorney Lotok. So ngayon nyo rin lang na-realize na yung palang Oplan Romanov, threat pala sa First Family.
First Family. Opo, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you.
Noted, entered into the records. I would have
Presiding
recognized
Officer.
Senator go first, but since you're there already, Senator Judge Alan
It's
Gaetano,
just a
you may proceed, sir.
manifestation and point of information. As Senator Judge Lacson said, no, it's for each judge to appreciate. But let me put context, no. I'm not close to VP Sara. I'm not close to Mayor Baste. Ang kasama ko sa Congress si former Deputy Speaker Pulong. But in the last 4 years, I think I've seen him twice or thrice.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But my reading nung sinabi ni Mayor Baste is pag natulog ka sa gabi, remember the Romanovs. So we have to look at our history. The Romanovs were evicted via a revolution. Diba? So, Mayor Baste was doing a parallel ng 1986 na paalis yung mga Marcoses via revolution. But unlike the Romanovs, the Marcoses were given asylum or whatever you call it in Hawaii, and over time, nakabalik until the president became president. Ang Romanovs, inubos sila para nga hindi balik. Now, if Mayor Baste was making Romanovs uubusin kayong Marcos, di dapat na-offend si Senator Judge Amy Marcos because she's a Marcos, no? So, secondly, if he made that threat, so if he was saying, may Oplan mo, Romanov or Romanov kayo, I'm sure the PNP or the Presidential Security Command, the National Council, would have filed a case against Baste. So I just want, it's fair that you mentioned him, it's fair sa investigation mo, but I don't think we should draw a conclusion here that Mayor Baste was threatening the First Family because remember, there's a thin line between a warning and a threat. So pag sinabi ko sa iyo ngayon, witness, pareho tayong abogado, kompanyero, pareho tayong taga-Ateneo, mag-ingat ka sa sasabihin mo. That could be a fair warning. That could be not a threat, di ba? But kapag ka may threat talaga na pinarating ko sa iyo, pag hindi ko gusto ano mo, kakasuhan kita, that could be a illegal threat, di ba? Pero pwedeng warning. So I just want that on the record, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. Senate President, because everyone's watching, and in the same manner, we have to be fair to the First Family. We have to be fair also to Mayor Baste and to the Dutertes, that rather than draw a conclusion that there was an actual. So the Council for Defense was making a distinction, mentioning Romanov and Oplan Romanov are two different things. It may be the same, it may be different thing. For all we know, narinig ni Mayor Baste na sila Iro Romanov, kaya binanggit niya pabalik. We don't know. I don't know. I haven't discussed it with anyone. I haven't discussed it with the few senators na kaibigan ko dito. So let's just be circumspect and careful from making conclusions. But as far as it is relevant, Mr. Presiding Officer, I appreciate the answer of the witness. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Senator Go, thereafter Senator Padilla. Senator Go, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Balik muna tayo dito sa ating bayan. Masyado lang malayo, inaabot natin. To our Mr. Witness, some questions lang po, no?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Nabanggit nyo kahapon na 20 years na ho kayo sa NBI.
12 years, Your Honor.
Be specific, anong year po nakapasok?
2014, Your Honor. Nagsimula po ako from the NBI Academy.
2014?
2014, 12 years na po, Your Honor.
Hindi 20 years.
Hindi 20 years, Your Honor. 12, Your Honor.
12 years. So, kailan ho kayo nag-head ng cybercrime?
February 2023, Your Honor.
February of 2023. Maupay na adlaw pala.
Maupay po nga adlaw gyapon, sir.
And to our prosecutor,
May hapon, sir. May hapon.
maupay na kulop.
Maupay man.
Kailan ho kayo naging RD?
July 2025, sir.
July 2025. So, naging cybercrime head kayo February of 2023.
3, sir.
Before that, saan ho kayo na-assign?
Chief ng Digital Forensics, sir, 2022.
2020. Anyway. So, meron ho bang nag-recommend sa inyo or wala na, nag-apply lang kayo o sino
Nang ano po, sir?
naging head kayo ng cybercrime?
As Chief of the Digital Forensics, I was designated by the then Director Medardo J. De Lemos. Then as Chief of the Cybercrime Division, I was also designated by the then Director Medardo J. De Lemos, sir.
2016 to 2022, saan ho kayo na-assign?
2016, I think anti-organized crime and transnational crime.
Up to 2020.
AOTCD, yun, Your Honor. Then 2018, nasa cybercrime division na po ako.
So, hindi po kayo head doon.
Hindi pa, as an investigation agent po noong 2018, sir.
Anyway, nabanggit niyo po kanina about sworn affidavit. And then nabanggit niyo about journalists, no? Na part nung press conference. Tama ho ba?
Yes, sir.
Marami sila, di ba? Marami
Opo.
nabanggit
Yes,
sa
Your
mga
Honor.
nakarang araw, including last week, di ba? Bakit ho ba, ba't hindi nyo kinuha bakit po hindi kinuha ang sariling sworn affidavit ng mga journalists na personal na naroon po sa press conference? Sa halip ay affidavits po ng agents na naglalaman po ng inyong summary ng mga sinabi po ninyo. Bakit hindi nyo pinursige yung mga affidavits ng mga nandoon sa...
Yes, Your Honor. Nung nag-appear po yung mga media personalities na nag-participate nung online press conference at the November 23, 2024, may kasama ho silang lawyer, and then we want to them to execute an affidavit. Ang advice sa kanila ng lawyer, hindi na raw. Pwede lang sila mag-participate ng interview. Pwede sila mag-sign sa minutes at meeting. So hindi na po namin pinilit.
So wala hong journalists or mga vloggers na kasama po doon sa sworn affidavit? Wala ho. Sa inyo lang, purely puro po ito sa
NBI,
galing sa NBI lang po.
Yes, sir. Kasi ayaw po ng lawyer nila na mag-execute sila ng affidavit.
Okay.
Pero may kasama po silang lawyer doon, sir.
Yung mga detalye pong nakasaad sa inyong affidavit tungkol sa naganap na press conference, galing ho ba ito sa personal knowledge ng mga agents o batay po sa sinabi ng mga journalists na nakausap po ng agents pagkatapos?
Yes, Your Honor. Q&A yung mode nung interview at nag-reflect ho yan doon sa minutes of meeting, and then nag-execute ng affidavit yung nag-interview na agent. So magkasama ho yung mga dokumento na yun, sir.
Mako-consider mo ba ito na second-hand account? Paano nyo masigurong naging actual ho yung pag-interpret ninyo sa mga sinabi?
Ano pong interpret, sir?
I mean, kung batay po ito sa second-hand account, paano nyo masisiguro na sakto, walang naidagdag, o hindi na misinterpret sa pagitan na aktual na sinabi ng mga journalists at mga nakasulat sa inyong affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor. That's the reason why inauthenticate namin yung video mula simula hanggang sa matapos para hindi kami mawala sa tunay na nangyari. That's the reason why transcribe din ng ating agent on case kung ano laman ng video, kung ano yung naging tanungan doon para hindi ko kami mawala sa investigasyon namin. And in fact, Your Honor, when we try to establish whether or not nag-utter ba talaga ang Vice Presidente na may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay sa tatlo, na confirm namin ito nung November 26 video kasi ni-reiterate ng Vice Presidente, inadmit niya, instead na sinabi niyang hindi ko sinabi yon, sinabi niya nung November 26 na video na indeed may kinausap na siyang tao para pumatay doon sa tatlo. So, nabuo yung aming investigation na ang tawag po namin doon is admission against interest doon po sa ginawa ni Vice President during the November 26, 2024, sir.
Anyway, last question na lang po on sedition. No? How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Ano po yung, sorry,
On sedition charges, di ba?
Yes, sir.
How do you reconcile the fact that the Vice President discouraged her supporters from going to the streets with a claim of inciting to sedition?
Well, in inciting to sedition, Your Honor, specifically in the case of People versus Nabong, it is not necessary na magkaroon ng actual sedition. The law also penalizes if the seditious words would encourage people to do illegal acts or to overthrow government. In other words, if the speeches would stir up the people to go against the government, if the speeches would disturb the peace of the community, if the speeches would undermine public order and public security, hindi ho necessary na magkaroon ng actual na sedition. That's under the
Meron
law,
ho
sir.
bang nagawa yung Vice Presidente na yung gaya ng sinasabi niyo ngayon?
Nagawa pong inciting to sedition, sir? Based sa findings namin, sir, yes. Based po sa findings namin. Ganito po ang nangyari. Kinumpare po namin based on the content and context of the utterances made by the Vice President in November 23, 2024, the utterances made by the Vice President in October 18, 2024, then the utterances made by the Vice President in 26 November 2024, and other facts and circumstances. Nung trinay po namin i-compare siya, may nakita ho kami ng mga utterances that would stir up the people against the government. For example, Your Honor, nung October 18, ang sabi ng Vice Presidente, walang number 1 ang Pilipinas na to, hanggang number 2 lang to. Para ho namin nung November 23, ang sabi dun sa November 23, I do not recognize anybody above me. It's a reiteration dun sa kanyang sinabi. That's number 1, Your Honor. Then number 2, may sinabi siya noong October 18 na anong magagawa ko, hindi marunong maging presidente yung nakaupo. Kasalanan ko ba yun? And then, November 23, kinumpara namin yon. Ang sabi niya doon, this country will go to hell because the person na nakaupo is hindi marunong maging presidente and who is a liar. So nakita namin yung pattern saka consistent na utterances. Then tinira namin yung pangatlong line. Ang sabi niya doon, alam ko si BBM may 5 impeachable offense, pero papasa ba dyan sa House? Siyempre hindi. Then pagdating sa November 23, sinabi naman niya doon na the President is lying through his teeth para makuha lang niya yung boto ng mga tao. Tapos minura niya sila, PI ka, BBM, Lisa Marcos, and former Speaker of the House. So, tiningnan namin, sino ba yung nagsasalita? Kung ang nagsasalita, Your Honor, is yung ikalawa sa pinakamataas na posisyon in public at yun yung kanyang utterances, definitely, Your Honor, there is a tendency to stir up the people against lawful government.
Kindly wind up,
Against the
Senator
government.
Go.
No more question, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you,
Salamat po.
Senator Judge
Salamat.
Go. Senator Judge Padilla intimated to the presiding officer that he will defer his questions to a later time.